say so. I've seen the movie. It's pretty spectacular.
Thank you.
Scenes are all in sequence plan.
Yep.
The thing that I thought, first of all, was, do you do your own risk scenes, or do you have a double? Because they are pretty complex.
Yeah. I have a double that I've worked with for a lot of years who, whether or not it's me in the final shot or whether it's him, you know, the build up there and the rehearsal time and collaboration between the two of us is the most important thing. In this film, due to the nature of how Sam shoots, probably 95% of it is me. And I love that immersive quality. You know, it allows there to be a spontaneity and a truth on screen that I don't think you can fake if you're subbing out doubles the whole time. And it's, I don't know, I think it gives it a different resonance with an audience. You know, they can see it's truthful. They can see that it's not a green screen, it's not a double. That sweat's real, that, you know, trepidation, the nervous energy, all of that. You're not having to act in that situation because you're in the fight.
How did you prepare Tyler? Did you do together? Was it more physical? Was it more psychological?
All the above, yeah.
Yeah, both. You know, we had made a film the first time round that an audience resonated with in a wonderful way. We had incredible action into it. And with the sequel, we had the task of having to raise that even further and make sure the action was even more dynamic and unique and different to what the first film was, but set it aside from other films in this space. But the most important thing, I think, and the thing we worked the hardest on was the emotional component and having some understanding of the depths of this character and the pain, the guilt, the suffering that is buried beneath the tough exterior, I think sets it aside from a lot of characters in this genre, and that opportunity we had to have an audience really connect with the character emotionally then complements the action. You know, the integration of the action and the emotion go hand in hand. And if you just have action, no matter how wonderful it is, it's with no emotion, it just ends up being noise, you know. And so a deep emotional resonance and connection was really important to us.
I was thinking, because when you play a superhero rather than ordinary people, I don't know if Tyler is an ordinary man, but what do you enjoy most? To build a real man or a superhero man?
I love it all, you know, and you're trying to make it all truthful. Every time, whether he's wearing a cape and he's from another planet or whether he's here as a human being, you have to find a way for an audience to connect and empathize with and understand the emotions they're going through. And that's, you know, a little more complicated when you're from another planet and you have sort of godlike powers, then it's a little trickier. I guess I enjoy the obstacles are different in a film like this. You know, it's much more finding a way that I can connect with it truthfully, rather than trying to kind of ground it and pull it back to earth. I don't want to say it's easier because it resonates and it's a little more complicated if you're performing it, but I think the task it's more familiar for an audience. You know, you get to concentrate on just that emotion as opposed to competing with the special effects and the larger-than-life elements.
And the last one, I'm so curious from where you start filming. You start by the end, you start by the beginning. Where did you start?
It really depends on the schedule, and a lot of different factors go into it. You know, like the actors' availability, what sets are ready, what's going to be easier or less complicated to shoot. So we actually, I mean, to speak specifically about this, this 21-minute oneer we did, ironically, but we started with the end, which seems out of place, and it was really hard for me to wrap my mind around it, because in the first movie we shot it all sequentially, which makes sense. You start at the beginning and you move through it and make changes if you need to, but you end up at the end. This one, because of schedules and the complications technically of shooting on that train on location, we had 7 days of shooting there. So we had to rehearse for 3.5 weeks with all the departments. So rather than step away from that and go back to the beginning, we decided, right, we're here, we should focus on this part. And so we actually filmed the ending first.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.